say, hey, is this judge somebody who's going to be an activist, one way or the other?
Right.
What is their political leaning? Because I don't want somebody who's going to take the Constitution and become a legislative body with it. And I want somebody to interpret the Constitution. That's what their job is, nothing more. And he said, it's a good question. He said, yeah, I do this, and I do a lot of checking. That's my job. He said, but if you really want to get down to it, like everything else, follow the money. Who do these judges donate money to?
And I mean, it's just like it's just an investigation, really. If that's what you're going to do, you're going to do. This is now journalistic investigation. But yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but who has time to do that? So this last time, we got a Supreme Court race going. The one guy is on the air all the time, and everybody's these obviously supporters saying, "Oh, we need him. He's gonna save our Constitution, and he's gonna keep Montana. And if you want hunting and fishing rights to stay, you need to vote for him. We just can't live without him." You're like, boy, sounds red, white, and blue, and hot dogs and apple pie and baseball, the whole works, right? Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? You look at his who he donates to, 100% to one party. And it's like, I'm not looking for somebody like that, Yeah. And it's not the party I affiliate with, obviously, but I'm not gonna, no, that's not what I want. And so, because
even that though, let's say the judge leans left, we're obviously right. Like the judge leans left and we disagree with them, but let's say they do donate, but they always donate 50-50 to both sides. I'm probably going to lean towards them, even though I have a guy who leans heavy to the right, but donates all the time to the Republican Party and whatnot, because that shows me he doesn't have integrity. There's a chance, because to me, as a judge, you shouldn't be donating, frankly. If you are, you better be 50-50, because
you shouldn't be donating at all.
Yeah, because I agree. Like you said, you're essentially you have the potential to be that legislator on the seat, or I guess in the court is how you say it.
On the bench, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, because like the Supreme Court nominee, is it Amy Barrett Coney?
Coney Barrett.
Coney Barrett, ACB or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
She they kept bugging her. I saw clips. They kept bugging her about Roe versus Wade and Brown versus Board of Education, and her comeback was like she was explaining it. I support Brown education as a precedent that is essentially a law and has no room to be overturned, because it's a common acceptance by all personnel in the United States that's the right thing. I don't accept.
Well, because it goes along with the civil rights.
Yeah.
Laws.
But yes, there's a basic right there that needs to be upheld. And she said, I don't necessarily feel that way about Roe versus Wade, because to this day, it's still debated, whereas Brown versus Board of Education is a wholly accepted fact. Right. So you can overturn laws that are not necessarily accepted as a holistic approach. And so they kept trying to like hit her on that. She's like, no, listen, I'm not trying to be a legislator. I'm just telling you, when I go to rule on these laws and to interpret it the way I see it, it needs to be based off of commonly understood laws. That's why Roe versus Wade is still susceptible to change, whereas Brown versus Board of Education is not. And I mean, it was a left senator, I think, that was hitting her on it. And I felt like she was giving the right answer for that, and that makes sense, especially when you hear the logical reasoning behind why she said, I would have no issue overturning one when I would have an issue overturning another.
Yeah, well, and when you talk about a judge trying to get a judgeship and they're donating 50-50 to each party, I don't think they should be donating parties anyway.
Yeah.
From the time they took, because those Supreme Court justices, they just don't show up out of the woodwork. They usually start out, in a district court or appellate courts, and then on up to for the U.S. Then you're looking at appellate court level, then up to Supreme Court. But in the the justice level here in the state, and I don't know how states work, because there's there are different names for them when they're Constitution, but literally you got a lower court, and then your district support court, and then Supreme Court, which are elected by the people, unless there's a vacancy that can be filled by a governor. But, you know, I voted for very Democratic individuals for the Supreme Court in Montana because at the time they were very fair in their rulings. And that's where you have to really go to then. If you got somebody donating 50-50, maybe they don't have integrity. Maybe they're just hedging their bets because they played a lot in Vegas.
That's fair too. Yeah.
Right.
I didn't think about that.
So if you have somebody who, at least if they are donating one way or the other, I don't care which way it is, at least they're honest enough to go, you know what, this is the way I'm going to go, whether you agree with them or not. But taking the time to find the rulings, and if you've ever read some of the Supreme Court, or not Supreme Court, but judges' rulings, they love to talk.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you're right. It's their way of talking, so they just put it into writing
but they use it in legalese and you have to use other precedents. You have to use other court cases as precedent. You need to do that. But at the end of it, when you got a judge that, like our cousin, who's an attorney, was partners with, and she turns loose a child molester.
Yeah.
As a judge, are you kidding me? I mean, and she wants to keep moving up. Like, you've got to be out of your mind. How do you do that? I don't care which way you lean politically. There are certain things that are absolutely not negotiable from a humanistic and ethical. Don't even talk about the law, just ethics.
Yeah.
You don't violate that, but you know what? Politics talk.
Right.
So anyway.